Hey guys, it's Mike here, and in this video, I'm going to be giving my review and reaction to the first episode of the Super Dragon Ball Heroes promotional anime, which just debuted in Japan. Now, this anime is based off of the Dragon Ball Heroes video game, and there's additionally a manga which covers some of the story being told in the anime. But for the most part, Heroes is something that's exclusive to Japan, and it seems that Bandai and those behind this anime don't want Heroes content to leave Japan, which to me seems very short-sighted. After all, the fact that thousands of people around the world flock to Twitter, YouTube, and various sites to find this episode and to watch it, despite the fact that most of them have never even played the game, shows that fans are dedicated to this product. Thus, it makes little business sense to deny this to international markets. But as far as this anime goes, I didn't really have high expectations going in. I knew it would be a promotional anime, and I don't have a lot of personal exposure to the Heroes brand. From what I've seen, it's an all-out fan service game where everyone gets different transformations, there's time travel across various timelines, GT and Super continuities mixed together, they bring back long dead villains, and so on. That's not really as compelling to me as the main series or a narrative with some decent continuity, so as a result, I went into this first episode as a fan with little exposure to the brand while keeping my expectations low. So how exactly was this debut episode? Well, in this video, I'm going to review that. Hey guys, before the video begins, I want to tell you about my second channel, Laughingstock Cinema. On there, I discuss movies and live-action TV shows in reviews, discussions, top lists, and more. So if you're interested in hearing me discuss these topics, check out Laughingstock Cinema in the end screen and the description. Now let's get back to the video. Now the episode begins in familiar fashion as Goku and Vegeta are training with Whis on Beerus's planet. I've always liked these segments, but it's nothing new as Whis easily wins against their base forms. However, this is when out of nowhere, Future Mai suddenly appears to tell Goku and Vegeta that Trunks has vanished. There's no real explanation of how she got on the planet or even knows where it is, but she says that Trunks was supposed to come there or to that timeline to train. This is when Fu, the current villain of the series, appears. He introduces himself as Trunks' friend and states that Trunks is on the prison planet, which is a place where all of the most dangerous criminals in the universe are gathered. Fu then teleports away as Whis says that he concerns him. This leads to Goku, Vegeta, and Mai teleporting to the prison planet, which looks pretty interesting. It even has giant chains that lock around multiple planets which comprise this world, which is a pretty cool sight gag. Although I'm not sure how Goku even knew where to teleport, but this seems to be becoming a theme of this show already. Once they're there, Vegeta and Goku sense a strange key as another Goku known as Xenogoku appears to confront them, and his entrance is pretty cool, as is his design. But the coolest part about this is that he also has Super Saiyan 4. Xenogoku assumes that Dragon Ball Super's Goku is working for Fu, who is overlooking this confrontation, and transforms into his Super Saiyan 4. Goku becomes a Super Saiyan Blue and the two fight. Now there's some clashing of fists and some blasts, but it's nothing really amazing, and it's mostly just cool to see Super Saiyan 4 in anime form this many years since Dragon Ball GT. And comparing the designs of Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan Blue, it only further cements how awesome of a design Super Saiyan 4 has, with it probably being my favorite looking form of Goku's. Anyway, this fight is interrupted when Super Goku flies too high and bumps into an invisible ceiling. It's then revealed that the prison planet is an entirely sealed place with no escape. However, the two Gokus then charge up and fire a Kamehameha at each other, which we discover was an attempt to escape the planet. But it proves useless. This is when it's revealed that Xenogoku is from another dimension and is a time patroller, whose duty is to capture dimension or timeline crossing evildoers. Fu also reveals that the prison planet is actually a testing grounds that he created. He gathers strong warriors from various times and places and has them battle forever. Xenogoku is also apparently captured on purpose to investigate, a trope which certainly hasn't gotten old at all since the Dark Knight. But anyway, apparently Fu dislikes Trunks because he violates the taboo of time travel and wants him to pay by being in his prison. but he's also using him as bait to lure the Gokus and Vegeta. He tells them that they have to find Trunks themselves. However, they're going to need 7 special Dragon Balls to escape, one of which Xenogoku just so happens to have. The remaining 6 are in the possession of other prisoners, all of whom are strong. This all essentially gives us the stakes of this arc, in which our heroes will be pitted against powerful prisoners to get their wish, which will no doubt lead to them foiling Fuse plans and saving Trunks. And we see where Trunks is gone shortly after this, as he awakens in his cell and the door opens to reveal more of the prison planet. Now, I like the aesthetic of this part of the world, which is very Blade Runner-esque and reminds me of that one planet where Hit had to do a job in Dragon Ball Super. But suddenly, one of the prisoners appears to Trunks, that being Cooler, the brother of Frieza who is from the movie continuity, and he was in his final Shredder-esque form. He demands that Trunks hand over a Dragon Ball, but he doesn't know what Cooler is talking about. Seeing Cooler again was also a cool moment, no pun intended, because he was one of the best DBZ movie villains. And while basically a copy of Frieza, he had some interesting traits which made him stand apart. From what I've heard, he and Trunks are going to team up, which could be fun. In the final scene of the episode, we see Fu as he looks over the various prisoners on the planet, saying that the most interesting experiment in the universe could finally enter its main phase, and we get some Easter eggs showing who some of the prisoners are. On one monitor, we see King Cold, the father of Frieza and Cooler. We also see Bojack on another, and all the way over on the right we see another named Ozato, who is an obscure villain from an old school arcade game named Dragon Ball Z VRVS. But finally it ends as the evil Saiyan Cumber is revealed as Fu says his time has yet to come. And that was the first episode of the Dragon Ball Heroes anime, and honestly my first opinion after watching the episode was, that's it? My expectations weren't particularly high going in, but I'd still have to say that I was a little disappointed. One of the biggest problems with the episode was the runtime, and while I knew it was a promotional anime that wouldn't run a full 20 plus minutes, I thought it might go for maybe 15, but instead the runtime was around half that length at a little over 8 minutes. As a result of this, most of the action was rushed, such as Goku vs. Goku, which lasted all of 30 seconds. We also didn't get to see Cumber vs. Vegito, which was featured in the trailer, but I guess I'm alright with that since it probably would have been over ridiculously fast if they put it in this episode. There's already some wonky writing, such as Mai and Fu just randomly showing up on Beerus's planet, and nobody really seeming to react to things to the degree that they should, which is again likely down to the pacing. The animation in this was decent, although it seems that they reused it at points such as with Fu, and the fights were so brief that they didn't really have much time to show anything special off. The musical score was pretty good as well, but again we didn't hear it for long. Overall, as someone who's a fan of Dragon Ball but has limited exposure to the Heroes brand, this episode didn't really supply me with enough information or take enough time to flesh out certain aspects to where I could really get invested. But again, this is a promotional anime. They assume you've already played Heroes or are familiar with the content, and they rush through what's happening at a fever pace. In many ways, it was what I expected, with outlandish things happening, fan service encounters, and logic not really being at the forefront, but I'm also kind of disappointed because it was even shorter than I expected and was less eventful than it was made to seem from the trailer. Maybe the episodes will become longer in the future and the story will be more fleshed out. After all, with the Super manga, it began as a promotional tool and then became more of its own thing as it went along. There's definitely some concepts that could use further exploration and could be cool if they devote a little bit more time to the episodes, but if they're just going to be 8-minute rushed episodes that come out every couple of weeks or so, then there's not really that much to get excited over. Either way, I won't really be getting my hopes up. Now, as for the next episode preview, it features the evil Saiyan Cumber in a straitjacket as we saw in the preview trailer for Heroes. We also saw more of Goku, as it seems that he's going out of control, almost as if he's possessed by someone or using a new form which makes him go berserk. However, as we see next, Goku engages in a fight with Cooler. And this is when we see something that was previously featured on the poster, where Cooler transforms once again into Golden Cooler. And while it looks cool from the preview, I'm not the biggest fan of the design because number one, I'd prefer it not just be his color swapped Super Shredder form, and number two, it doesn't really need to be gold. After all, Frieza chose the golden color to suit his own goals and tastes, so why is Cooler picking the same color? Why not silver, or green, or black, or have an entirely different design altogether? But it's obviously because Cooler's final form is seen as more iconic, and golden is the most obvious choice to get people interested in a further Frieza race form. But again, it's Dragon Ball Heroes, so it's not going to make the most sense or be the most thought out logically. It's just there for the cool factor, much like a lot of the other things that are going to be in this show. But it should be interesting to see Goku versus Golden Cooler, so long as they give us a little bit more time than the fights that we got in this episode. So what did you guys think of episode 1 of Super Dragon Ball Heroes? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And are you looking forward to future episodes? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video and want to see more, then make sure to stick around, because there's a lot more to come in the future. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so you could see all of my content right away when it comes out.
Yeah, and you better subscribe, enable those damn notifications.